Hey, how you guys doing? IVECOX. Yeah, and I'm on the 1.7.9, but that really doesn't matter because we're just talking about Link and Nether portals. So I'm going to kind of touch on the 360, but this is mainly for PC. I'm going to put a link in the description to Overlook Dent. He has an incredible tutorial on how to link portals. So I've found, some cool videos on how to link portals, but they really don't talk about it. All they say is that it's 9 blocks difference. But what's the math and how do you figure that out? And that's what I'm going to actually show you. So these slashes here represent divided. So you need to divide your x coordinates by 8, and then whatever that equals is where you'd want to place your portal in the Nether. And then you'd want to divide your z coordinates by 8, and then for the 360 you'd want to divide it by 3. So first thing we're going to do is just link up a fast portal. So that portal over there is about 100 blocks away. It hasn't been lit or anything. Before we do that though, I wanted to talk about how depending on what your nether's like, sometimes it's not going to put your portal over lava. It'll actually move it, so it'll make your portal from your overworld to your nether incorrect. And I did this first try and I actually got that response. So I built this on the 0, 0 coordinates. So if you guys were doing this, you'd want to take your x coordinates and then divide them by 8, and whatever the answer is what you'd want to put where you'd want your nether portal. And it would be the same as your z coordinates. So the y coordinates do not matter. So if we go through here and we check to see where the nether portal's been placed, we can actually look and see that it's not even close. I actually know why. It's because I had to dig all of this out over here. This all got dug out so that I can do this. So this portal is not in the correct location, as you can see. It's actually -5 by +5, which means this portal is not correct. So I'm going to go ahead and remove it and then find the 0, 0 coordinates, the ones that we calculated, which would be the x and z coordinates. And you can see here that this is actually correct. It's on the 0 coordinates. So if I go ahead and light this, now our overworld portal and our nether portal are actually correct now. If you don't do that, if you find that it actually adds up to it, then everything's good. But if it doesn't, you would want to correct your portal in the nether. So if we wanted to make a fast travel portal like over there, we'd want to go to where we want to make our portal. So I'm going to go ahead and head over there. And then we just need to do the math on it. Now I made this on the 0 axis, which means I don't have to do any math as far as the x coordinates. But if it was not on 0, you'd just want to you'd want to divide that by 8. So I kind of did the math here for you. It's actually at 258. So 258 divided by 8 equals 32.25. So if you get a 32.65 when you do your calculations, you're better off rounding off to 32, or I'm sorry, 33, if that makes any sense. So you'd want to go 1 block higher, but because it's below 0.5, it should be okay. So all I need to do is go into the nether and find 0 by 32. So you light your portal and then head back to your home portal, and that's your first portal that you made. And the way that portals work is they actually, the oldest portal is like the chain, if that makes any sense. It's the beginning of the chain. So if you start chaining portals together, you do not want to delete this. So yeah. So if we go into the nether and we create it, we can make a fast travel portal. So if we look at our x and z coordinates, all I need to do is stay on the 0 axis for me and go to 32 blocks, which is right here. So if I light this, this will be my fast travel portal now. It's connected. So the fast travel portal is now connected. As you can see, the maths here, and it works pretty well. But one of the big questions is, what's the closest you can link a portal? And we're going to actually look at that. So on the ground, if you're level, and this makes me wonder because I've seen the same thing on the 360, is that you can link portals closer on the 360 if they're on the same plane. But as soon as you put one up in the air, it changes that. So each one of these obsidian sets is 9. So we have 9, 18, 27, 36, and 45. So I tried 9 and it just kept linking that portal to the home portal, which means, you know, what will be the point of that. But you can link one at 9, 18, and 27 on the ground if you're level. So I can actually put a portal here and link it, and it will link nice. Even though, yeah, it could be off over there as well, but as long as it's on the ground, it doesn't really matter. But you can see that it's 27 blocks away. If we actually look at our X coordinates, it's actually on 28. But, you know, anyway, so 28, which if you were to divide 28 by 8, you should end up with, I think it's 4 blocks. But I'm going to go ahead and grab my calculator. So 28 divided by 8 equals 3.5 blocks. So it's telling me that 3.5 is where I'd want it. So it's right in the middle of where you might want to go over. It's 3.5 even. So I'm going to go ahead and just go from the 0 coordinates and go to 3 blocks, and we'll build a portal and see what happens. Now if you do it any closer than this, it doesn't usually work. This actually may not work either. But so that's at the accurate, you know, to the math. So this would mean that you got 9, 18, and then 27 is what you'd have here. So that's the difference. So if we actually come through home portal, you can see that it dropped me out on home portal. And then if we run over here where the pigman came out, it should be linked up. So it put me here. So I wanted to show you something strange. If you go through here, home portal, everything's cool. You can see that you can link up to 27 blocks. So what if I wanted it to be in the air though? That totally changes with height. If I was to build that at 27, it would not actually link up correctly. I tried repeatedly and it just does not link up. Which makes me think that you could probably use the y-axis on the PC. But anyway, if we wanted that to link up, first thing we need to do is get rid of this portal. So I want a portal up above. And so let's go ahead and set the portal up. So say this was my mob grinder up here. As you can see, I had to go was that 9, 18, 27, and then 36 blocks away, just from making it higher. So this portal's at 36 blocks away, and if we were to do the math on that, 36 divided by 8 equals 4.5 blocks. So, you know, we can make it at 4 blocks, or maybe at 5 might be better. You know, it's really helpful not having to do the X. That's why I built it on the 0 axis. So as long as we stay on 0 coordinates, all we have to do is do our Z coordinates. So here you go, you got 4.5 blocks, which would be right here. And there we go. So that should be mathematically accurate. That's 4 blocks here, which would be, what is that, 36 blocks in the overworld. So let's go ahead and just try it. We'll go here. We should end up here. And then we should come back through. So it put us through the same portal. Now watch what happens if we go through this portal. I'm going to go through this side. And you can see that it's linked up correctly and everything. So it looks like we got it linked. But watch what happens if I go through this side. So I'm actually heading towards the north. It actually brings me up. And then when I go back through, if I go around to the front of the portal, as you can see, it takes me down to the bottom, which that's very strange, but that is the closest that I've been able to link it when you have that much distance in between the portals. So yeah, so just to show you guys again another example We're just going to fly to a random location and then do the math on it. I'm going to fly off at an angle, that way it gives me a really strange calculation. So let's say I wanted a portal here. Alright, so I light my portal and I'm going to take my X coordinates. It doesn't really matter if you take it from the right or left, but I usually always go left on it, depending on what direction I'm facing. So we've got 108 positive, and then we've got on our Z coordinates we have 66. So if you look, it already rounds it off for you, but it says 66.68. So when I do the math on this, let's just do it. So 108 divided by 8 equals 13.5. So 13.5, and then 66 divided by 8 equals 8.25. So none of those are over 6, so that's good for us. So that's all we got to do is find positive 13 and positive 8.25. So if we go back to home portal, we can go ahead and link this portal, and you can do this as long as, like I said, it's within the 36 block area if you're building up above, and you could do it up to the 27 block area. So you can make some crazy stuff with this. I've actually done some elevators. One of my first elevators was with Nether portals. Alright, so all we have to do now is just find x 13.5. So 13 would be here. So 13 by 8.25, so 8 positive, so 8 would be right here, I think. Not 7. Here's 8. So 8 by 13, so I should be able to get away with this right here. Even though it's at a different height, I should be okay with it. I just wanted to show you guys that it's not rocket science. Obviously, you wouldn't want to build it over a lake of lava, but as long as our coordinates on the X and Z coordinates are cool, then this should be cool too. Alright, so let's just double check it. So I've got 13 by 8, and that should be good. So this should link to that portal. Obviously, we'd have to build some kind of, bridge or something down here, or even dig it out up there, but should link up to that portal that we put. So there we go. You can see that it linked up to our original coordinates, which was 108 by 67, or maybe I did 108 by 66. Yeah, 108 by 66. Should see the other portal, and there it is over off in the distance. So that is how you link Nether portals. Now you'd want to do the same thing we just did, except for you'd want to use divide by 3 for the Xbox 360. So to let you guys know some notes about the Xbox 360, it's different because each block in the Nether is only 3 in the overworld, which means you can actually put portals in the Nether like this close. You can actually put a portal here and link that up in the Nether, not in the overworld, and you would be traveling only 3 blocks difference. Now it will link up all the way until you get to 9 blocks. So it's kind of weird how it works out the same, but yeah. So if I was to on the Xbox, this would be the closest I could build a portal. But cool thing is I could basically build this portal, and if I went to 18, I could pretty much guarantee that that would work up there, and it'd be a hell of a lot closer. And that's actually how I did a kind of elevator. You travel through this one, and it would take you to that floor, and then so on and so on. But it all went at an angle, if that makes any sense. But anyway, that's all the time I got. I hope this helps you. I hope it's educational for you to see that. And to see how easy it is to link portals. You can go off of anywhere. You just have to, use the math, and that's the simplest way to do it. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Comment, like, and subscribe, and have a good one. Later.